And welcome back. Well, the only thing better than my birthday is National Cat Day, and that's today. So you'd think in this day and age, cats have everything they need, but it wasn't until 3 years ago that a couple of friends came up with a better way to give our feline friends a happier and healthier life. Well, at least healthier. That's true. Joining me now is Matt Michelson. He is the CEO and co-founder of Smalls, which uses human-grade ingredients to make wholesome meals for our pets. Good to see you, Matt.
Good to see you too. Happy National Cat Day.
Thank you. It's like the greatest day on earth, isn't it?
It is. Yeah, we're celebrating big time over here on the Smalls team. How are you this morning?
As you should. I'm doing well. I'm so excited to hear a little bit more about you guys. Tell me a little bit about Smalls, how you guys are different, and really kind of what you're doing over there.
Yeah, I mean, how we're different is a really big question, right? I think you first kind of have to understand a little bit about what's going on in the pet food industry and sort of what's going on with most foods that are out there. So I think what most people don't know is you see a pretty picture of chicken on the label and you think that's what's going into the food, but in reality most pet foods have a shelf life of like 20 years, right? And so the food that you're eating day in and day out, it shouldn't be like your breakfast cereal with the 20-year shelf life. It should be real, fresh, human grade, healthy food. And so what we did was we sort of started from scratch. And the first few batches we cooked in my kitchen here, right where I am, and then slowly but surely started growing, cooking sort of with real whole ingredients, no byproducts, no mystery meats, and slowly but surely we started to sort of really build traction. And the cats love it, and they're seeing sort of all sorts of health benefits of sort of feeding this sort of fresh food. It's frozen and delivered to your door, so just a totally different approach to feeding your cat.
So what does it look like? Is it a wet food? Does it just look like chunks of meat?
Yeah, so it looks, it's funny. It actually looks, so it looks like chopped meat. There's a few little bits of vegetables mixed in there for some essential vitamins and minerals. And, it's actually funny because when we were first starting the company, I was cooking some batches and I was home, where my family lives, and my sister was also home, and she saw it in the fridge and she took it out and she started eating it. She thought it was real food. And so, it looks like real food. It smells like real food. You're not going to have that gross cat food smell. It looks like a chopped chicken or chopped turkey. We have a gravy recipe. We know a lot of cats love their gravy, so we have a gravy recipe. But yeah, you can see in these pictures, it just looks like real food.
So what do the cats think? How many cats have you fed now, and what are you
Oh,
seeing in terms of the benefits?
yeah, so many. We've fed a lot of cats now. It's really catching on. I think you have a lot of folks who have been looking for a long time for a healthier food for their cats, and the cats love it. With cats, you have to you have to find a way to make it super appetizing because you've got your picky cats, and you've got to have a lot of different flavors and textures. So we've got all of that. I think we have 12 different flavors and textures now, and the health benefits are really, really a big deal. I think we like to think of food as medicine. When you're eating the same diet every day, you really want to make sure that you're sort of thinking about nutrition holistically, and the impacts are really, really huge. I heard you sort of talk about the litter box, which is one that's been so funny to watch so many people be so excited about, right? When you're eating healthier, your litter box isn't going to smell as much. And so your cat's absorbing more of those nutrients, and you have a less smelly litter box. But at the same time, you have all sorts of benefits. We've seen a lot of cats sort of come down to much healthier weights without doing much, just by feeding sort of a healthier, more nutritious diet that has fewer carbohydrates. Cats are obligate carnivores, which means that they really just don't need carbohydrates at all. They just need a very protein heavy diet. And so just by feeding something that is really what cats need, what cats have evolved to eat in nature, you see them naturally come down to their sort of healthy biological weight. That has all sorts of impacts in terms of health, just sort of across the board. Fewer hairballs, shinier coats, more energy, just brighter eyes. We see a lot of folks who discover the impact. They're a few weeks in or a month into feeding Smalls, and they start seeing the difference that it makes in their cats, and they just will never go back. Right? They're just believers, and now now they've sort of seen the light, seen the difference.
I'm a total believer in grain-free foods in general for my cat. He's 18 and a half, and I
Oh,
swear it's, yeah, and I think all the things, like you're saying, the things that those lead to are longevity, right? And we want them to be a part of our family for a very long time. And if you can help divert from a lot of these issues that they could get from grains and other problems, I think why wouldn't you? They're a part of our family. So
Yeah,
how does,
absolutely.
yeah, I'm sure you want to say something to that. And then I also want you to just address how the subscription works too.
Sure. Yeah. I mean, I'd love to talk about grain free and sort of how we should be thinking about feeding our cats, because even though it's kind of the boring science of it all, this is really where, the important stuff is. So with grain free, the big watch out for everyone watching today on National Cat Day is that grain free does not mean low carbohydrates or high protein. A lot of folks are finding a way to take the grains out and replace it with other forms of carbohydrates like starches. And so this is just a really good example of sort of, um, I think a company like Smalls needing to step in and sort of think cat first in everything we do. It's not dog first. It's not profit first. We're really just thinking about cat first in everything we do. So grain free is a great first step, but I think Smalls takes it another step further and makes sure that it's just a very, very high protein diet with really no carbohydrates. You
I
asked about
love
this.
it. We're out of time, Matt, but I want you to just very quickly in a sentence tell us how the subscription works, because you've given us so much great information. I think a lot of people are going to want to try it.
Yeah, absolutely. Sorry for talking your ear off.
That's okay.
So the small subscription, you go to smalls.com, you sign up for a sampler, and then you have a really flexible, easy subscription where you can edit your account anytime, change the recipes that your cats are into, cancel anytime if you need to. The sampler is just designed to make sure that you're sort of get a chance to test it out with you if your cats are picky and see what they like. And we're also doing a special promotion for the morning blend today and for National Cat Day. You can use today only blend30, the code on smalls.com, and get 30% off your sampler.
Love it. Thank you so much for joining us on National Cat Day, and happy National Cat Day to you.
Thank you.
Thanks,
Bye.
Matt. Here's that information again for Smalls. Try out the sampler today only for National Cat Day. You can get 30% off on the sampler, so your cat can try Smalls and customize your subscription. Just use the code BLEND30 at smalls.com.